Hello, Teresa here. I'm going to go through this very quickly, otherwise it could turn into a long video, and I don't really want that. You might be wondering why these are here. These are here just for you to look at while I read out some names and do a little bit of an introduction. I thought you might find them interesting. I picked them up yesterday on a beach in Kent, and so take a good look, because I expect at some point you lucky people might be seeing them again. Look how marvellous they are, all on the beach. Anyway, I'm going to read a few names out quickly. Thank you all if you're commenting on Facebook and on YouTube on the last project, and it seemed to go down quite well. And that is thank you Jackie G, Louise Buller, Tercerin, I'm pleased your mum and dad had a good stay with you, even though it was at different times. Gillian Brown, Lee Brennan, Lynn Finney. Lynn, I was absolutely shocked when I heard about your little accident you've had. I hope you're feeling better now. I know when I've fallen over, I'm very clumsy. I am a very clumsy person, and I actually threw a pair of boots not so long ago because I thought they were the cause of me falling over, and I just felt so stupid. For me, the biggest thing was just feeling stupid when everybody looked out through the Aldi windows, and I was laying on the floor, not very gracefully. But Lynn, I do hope that you're better now. Kath A, we all know who Kath A is, and J or Jackie G. Kath, hope you're well. Marilyn Miller. Yes, you're right, Marilyn. It did look like reverse applique, and it reminded me of a Hungarian peasant embroidery as well. So I think you and I are thinking along the same lines there. I still haven't researched the Hawaiians embroidery, but that is on my list to do. So thank you all for watching last time and commenting, and thank you for our new subscribers as well, and I hope you enjoy this. Well, very briefly, inspiration for this up and coming project now is from Brazilian artist Romero Britto, a real favourite of mine. I think he's fabulous. He produces some wonderful work, and he's had quite an interesting life as well. I believe he was the youngest of something like 9 or 11 children. Now he works in bright, bold colours, using lots of the primary colours, and it's just fantastic. His aim in producing art is to bring happiness to people. And I just think, wow, isn't that a lovely thing to do? I'm going to take the principles of his artwork, which is the colour, and the shapes. He loves bold shapes that actually match the colours. So obviously we don't copy, we're just influence. Now my main influence for my design is this. And I should probably cover this up with a photograph of the actual piece. Now, I believe I took this in Wales. Well, it was in Wales, a beautiful place called, Betsy Coed, I think. And this was, or is, enormous. This, I've always loved roosters and chickens. I love the tail on here. But I took this just before COVID broke out, so what, 3 years ago? But I also have this. Now this is my other piece of inspiration. Now I don't think I'm going to get all this, I might do this on. Now I worked this when I was, good grief, about 25 years, oh my goodness, yeah, it must be about 25 years ago. All this is sewing cotton. That's all sewing cotton. Now I did this from a sketch of a chicken, of a rooster, I love this. I've always loved this, the tail here and the feathers here. Now this is what I'm hoping to do, very, very similar without copying it, although it is my own work. So I might take some of these ideas. I love the overlapping here and the short against the long here, and even the colours. I love these colours too. So I might take these, what you can see here, and translate it into this. Now if any of you are interested in doing this as well, you don't have to do your own sketches, although I have on, now if I can find them, on the internet you can print off templates. Now for goodness sake, please make sure that they are free printables. But look at this one. That is not a million miles away from my piece that I've just shown you. So if you want to do this, find free printable templates, although these were colouring pictures from children's books. And this is my sketch from the photograph, and I tried to put the lines in here. All the feathers here got lines on here. Now Britto breaks up his designs into hearts, circles, lines, little squiggly bits. So I thought I would break these areas up into lines. Here I put some lines there. So now I'm progressing my idea. I've gone from this now onto this, and the design is now progressing. The little dots here, the little circles there. So from there, Mr. Britto does, he then breaks up his work into lines, and you can see I've already put pencil marks here, one there, so I've got two going up. And with the ones across, I wanted to follow this line, this basic shape here, gorgeous U shape there. So I put one here, and then I've gone through it here. I think I put, yeah, I've put 4 or 5 there. I didn't put one there, so I've put one there. I put 4. So that is how I'm going to break mine up. Now the next step I did, I coloured it in the colours that Romero Britto's used. Now this is what I've got. Not only have I coloured it in, I've further broken up the big shapes. If I go back here, I've further broken up these shapes into what he does with hearts. You see the heart there, and the circles here, circles round here, and then flowers. And he puts all sorts of little motifs in the background. This is the stand that the rooster here is standing on. So that's the oval here, there, and then I put these cobbles in here, only I've made them a lot bigger here. Now in each of the shapes that you make, you then break them down. Now as you can see, my rooster is here. That's the rooster shape here, going right the way around here, and all the feathers here, I think you might be able to see those clearly there. So after he's done this, the last thing that he does, he actually puts black paint lines all the way around his shapes, and that gives them definition, and it does break up all the shapes. Now personally at the moment, I think I've got too many shapes and too many colours, so I think I might eliminate some and exaggerate others. because this would take a really long time to do. I'm going to do mine in applique, so I won't be painting mine. So it'd be quite interesting to see how this does work out in fabric and not in paint. Now I need to sort out some bright colours, but I'm going to restrict my use of colours. I'm not going to have as many as I've got on here because I just think it's too loud. Now this one is what has grown out of that one. I haven't done this in colour. I've kept it black and white just to make it easier to see. Now you can see here I put the hearts on here. Now he has a tendency to even break these shapes up, so in one of these lines you might have half the heart one side and half the other side. The same with the circles and the flowers. I can't see any flowers that I've broken up. So this is the one I'm actually going to use. I'm going to use this one as a template and be led by this, and I've only broken this up with 1, 2, 3 lines going across and 2 going down, and I'm going to see how that looks before I consider doing the bottom here. I might not even do the bottom here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is the background, and as soon as I've worked that out, I'll get back and show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go back to the picture that we looked at a little while ago with the hearts, how he broke up the background into like rays of sun like this. I'm going to start with doing that. I've made another copy of this so that I've got the other one as reference, but what I did after that was to fold this into 8ths. So just like that, square, and then you can see the fold here, just over from corner to corner there, and crease it. Now when I undid that, I've got a nice sun ray effect here. So I made a shape, just one, because they're all the same. I just cut one, and then from that I cut 4 pieces of fabric that I want to use on this backing piece, and I've chosen a bright red. This mixture of pattern fabric, it's got little bows on there, I think they're bows, hearts, and another little design there. A blue, which is actually brighter than it looks on the screen, and what was the other one? And a yellow. Now I've backed them all with interfacing as well, iron-on interfacing, so I have 4 of these, and I have a piece for the other half of the paper. Now this is a bog standard A4, which is approximately say 12, it's just under 12 inches by 8. So that's 12 inches by 8. Now I've cut my calico back in a little bit bigger, maybe an inch bigger all the way round, maybe a little bit more. Yes, it's more likely 1.5 inches all the way round. So I've folded this back in half. I've quartered it actually. I've folded it once, folded it again, and then I've made a crease all the way through it, just so I know where the centre is. Now with these pieces here, I'm going to place them on the line, on the crease there. So I want, let's have a look, I want to arrange them somehow like that. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to leave it like that. That isn't what I had in mind actually, but I'm going to keep them like that. Now I'm going to put a pin in them and tack these down in place. Make sure they're nice and secure, and then with the bottom half here, I'm going to tack that there as well. And that is a beautiful pink, which isn't actually coming out on the screen. So that way there, and it should still be a little bit bigger. Yes, so I have a nice edge all the way round for seam allowance or for lacing or whatever I choose to do at the end. I'm just going to overlap them slightly, just very, very slightly. I'll overlap them, and then I'm going to tack them in place. So the next time you'll see this, it'll be nicely tacked down. Tacking's been done, and what I've done is a very loose, very large over sewing from one piece to the other all the way around where the fabric meets. I'm sure you can see that on the screen without me enlarging it. I spent a bit of time thinking about the stitch that I want to use to join these two together, and I went through the stitches I could think of. Really, I need a stitch that is going to go across, so that made me think of herringbone or feather stitch, made me think of maybe a detached chain going this way side by side. I thought of all sorts, and I came back to to the trusted raised chain band. So I think I'm going to stick with the raised chain band, which is, as you know, a lengthier process than some other stitches, because you have to do a row of tram lines all the way up wherever you're sewing, and then you do the stitch through the tram lines. So what I'm going to do this time, and I never do this, I don't think I've done this before in a project, is draw lines for the tram lines. Now if you look here, I will make it bigger now. Right, if you look there, you can see that I started putting the tram lines in here, and these are 1/4 of an inch from one side to the other. The whole distance is 1/4 of an inch. There is another line there which I'm not sure is coming out on the screen, and you can see the line here, and there's a line over here as well, which doesn't seem to be coming out on the screen too well. So I'll just show you how I've done this. I'm going to find the middle here, and then I'm going 1/4 of an inch. So I want to find the middle of that 1/4 of an inch. So I've got 3 long spiky bits here. Now I'm going to put the third or the second one on that line, and then just go from side to side. So that total width now is 1/4 of an inch. Just going to do that a little way down here. Now, so I'm going to join this up and make that there. So join the dots like this, and because that isn't straight, it's going to look wide in some areas, but the main thing is this line is straight. There we go, right through those dots. Yeah, it's not so straight there. So very lightly, there we go, a little pencil line that side, and then this side, where's the dots? If I do it that way I can see it better, right? Yeah, so if I join those dots there, that one there to that one there, and do a fine pencil line along there. The trim lines are evenly spaced. You want a nice sharp needle, and I'm using, for the trim lines, I'm using 4 strands of thread. So 4 strands of thread there. So one side to the other, and then and then just a little way down, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe a bit more, but no more than 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to over sew all the way down, just like this. I hope you can see that on the screen. There aren't any secrets to this, it's just an over sew with a nice gap between, about 1/4 of an inch, no more, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Really, it's up to you. And if you're using a very thick thread, then you can make these spaces even wider. So the next hour or so, I'm going to put all the tram lines in along all the sides. Down here, I've started that one, and then down there. This one here will be done last, after the others are done. So I'm going to make a start on that, and then as soon as I start doing the raised chain band, I'll get back. So I'm now going to do an exaggerated demonstration, and I say exaggerated because it's very big, it's large enough for you to see on the screen. If I were to do this on my work, you wouldn't see it, it would be too small and too fine. So as usual, or in the past videos, I think the exaggerated demonstrations work better. Now, as you can see, it is a very repetitive stitch. Once you've mastered the first 1 or 2 stitches over the foundation, that's the white thread, over the foundation stitches, you're just repeating that. So don't be put off because it's a really nice looking stitch that looks difficult. It really isn't. Now stop the video and just practice it. If you feel you need to practice it just a few times until you're confident, just practice it. But it's really worth the effort because, to be honest, it's minimal effort for, for a great impact or effect, really. So the raised chain band is now finished along all the sections. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to match the lines, these vertical and horizontal lines. We've got the curvy ones here. They're running 1, 2, 3, 3 across like there, that, and then 2 that way. And I'm just going to line them up here. Well, I've already done it actually, but 1, 2, and we got 3, and then up here there's 1, 2, and down here, there, and then down there, and then we'll bring the line across here and it finishes there, and across there and it finishes there, and that one finishes there. So now I know how to take the line across so it's quite straight, it finishes straight more or less, and it's not all sort of right the way down here and mismatched down there. So that's giving me a rough idea now of how to put these lines in. So I'm going to do that now, and they are curvy, they're curvy lines. So I'm going to start here with the pencil, once again with the pencil, very, very lightly. Now that's got to go from there to there. Right, so I'm just going to do that like that. Right, I can see that, can't quite see that there, so to make that a little bit darker, there, and there was 1, 2 of those, so there's another one here, and that's going to go from here, just very, very there, around to there. Right, I can just about see them. If I lose them, if they rub out on the way, I can easily put them in again. Now they are there. I'm not sure if they're coming out on the screen. That one's come out lovely. You can see that one there. That's coming out lovely. I can see them here close up, but I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see them. So we've got some nice shapes there, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. Nice areas here that are going to be broken up in the next stage, or the stage after this one. So next thing I'm going to do some more black lines here along the lines that I've just put in. I'm not sure what stitch I'm going to use. I don't want to use this stitch, the raised chain band again. I want these lines to be darker than these minor lines. I'm calling those minor lines and these are major lines. So the minor lines, I just want them to be dark and noticeable, but not to be too thick. Here. So all these lines now have all been put in. The top, as you know, the thicker ones are raised chain band, but the finer ones here are chain stitch with one side outlined in running stitch. And I think that gives a really nice effect. I'll just make this a little bit bigger so you can see it more. So at the moment I'm pleased with this, and it is looking, it's actually looking better than I imagined it to look. So I'm going back now to our inspiration. I'll take that away because that's a bit in your face, isn't it? So I'm going back to the inspiration, and here we are. Take that card away as well. And what I decided to do, I sat and I had a thought about now the next step. Next step, I'd like to put the feathers in here. I think that's a nice starting point. Work from the feathers and come round here. I mean, I could start anywhere, but I just like the thought of getting the feathers out of the way. So I went to my stash and I was looking for plain or spotted fabric, but I found some of this. Now I think all of you who have been with me a long time now will know what I'm going to do with this. And this one, I'm so excited, was already lined, interfaced, and it is very fine, so this would need interfacing. And I have some more there, just that little piece there. So I cut out a few. I've cut out a few, as you can see here. There are pieces missing. This is where I've already made a start cutting them out. And I'm going to put, at the moment, I'm going to use them as tail feathers. So these I'm going to put somewhere like this. Oh, one's on the floor, right? Somehow like this. I haven't actually arranged them yet. I'm just doing this now for the first time. I thought I'd do it on the screen, but as you know, it could take me ages just to work this out. So round about there looks something. Obviously I'm going to spend some time playing around with these. I might even have to cut some of them up. I fancy having a couple of different colours there. Like the green is nice. The green goes with this. So I might do this. Well, I think I will actually. That looks a bit too big anyway. That's a bit too wide. Yeah, that's far too wide. And then I will think about the body coming round here. I might cut this out as a template. I think that's the best way to go. Cut this out as a template and just be guided by it. And then I'll start placing those leaves. Before I place the feathers down, I decided to put the template on here and tack around, and I don't know if you can see that on there. It's just made it, or will make it, a lot easier to pick out the shape of the rooster. So I'm still going to start over here, but now this time I have a nice tacking line all the way around to follow. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with that, and once again I will get back when I've got something to show you. So I've started piecing the rooster together, and how I did this was to cut up one of the pictures like this. I've cut that into sections, and the sections are where I'm going to change the fabric. So this is there, the feathers, the head, and so on. So that's as far as I've got. The feathers seem to be working quite well. They look better on the screen actually than they do in front of me. And I have the body here. Now, as you can see on the screen, when I get to a join or a dark line, I'm cutting it and dividing the fabric so the line goes through it. The next piece, I think that is the piece there. Yeah, I've done the same with that. The next piece I think I'm looking at doing is possibly the head here. Now I might do the same with the head with the comb as I've done here, but not with the same fabric. Yeah, I've got a hankering to do the same with the comb. So I'm going to carry on with this, and this really is just like putting a jigsaw together, cutting out the pieces of fabric and then rearranging them jigsaw style on here, but just dividing them at the thick lines. I have actually gone over some of the narrower lines, but I like the effect here. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. And there are very few pieces actually. It looks like a lot of pieces here because I have so many lines running through it, but there's actually very few pieces. First, I've just found this really pretty piece of sequined, it's like lace, it's on net. It's really lovely. It isn't handmade, it's machine made, and I think this would make a very nice rooster comb, something like that. I'm going to cut it out. Now the rooster's head will go there, with the beak there, so the comb, although I could move it, it doesn't have to go there, does it? And the comb will go about there. Oh, I quite like that. So then I need something round for the face. There's also feathers down here. You see here the feathers there. I wonder maybe if they might look better down there. Right, where are they? They are on that curvy bit now. Oh, ha! Yes, they might look better there. They would come up there, I think. Oh, now that's leaving me with something to think of. I really thought that I was going to use them up here on the comb, but it doesn't look as if I will do that. I might leave them there, or I wonder if I should actually bring these across. But as soon as I decide, I'll put those in place. I'm just going to put the head back. Oh yeah, I really thought that they were going to, which they do. So maybe I need to bring something like this small, down here. Well, maybe, we'll see. I've also cut out the legs as well. Now the legs, I do like this blocked look here. I like that, and on the screen it definitely looks like two legs. Now I've cut out this, and I thought if I could stagger it, let's have a look. So I've got broken lines. I might get that result, the staggered look here. So that is something now for me to go away and play with. Yeah, that will go on. Oh, well, it will go on that way, but will it go on that way if I take the feet? Yes, it probably will do. So that's what I'm going to do now. And when I come back, hopefully the comb's in place and the legs. Right, this just leaves the beak and the eye to do. I'm not sure if there's anything else, but the next step I'm going to do is put down some of these embellishments. Now, Romero Britto like to use hearts in his work, circles and squiggles and things that we mentioned earlier. Now I have some very tiny hearts here, and as I said earlier, I don't want to copy, but I just want to be inspired. So I'm going to put a few hearts. Let's see, you can't see that bit, can you? I'm going to put a few little hearts in the background. These are all different colours. Maybe like that, maybe one on there as well. A couple of hearts there. I have a couple of these lovely little red things cut from, I suppose they're flowers, cut from a large piece of fabric. Anywhere that needs tidying up, like there. Yeah, I think I might put that there. Or this heart which I found on the floor going up shopping, which I have washed. There's another half to it somewhere. That might look, oh yeah, that might look nice there. And I have some of these that I cut out from the felt project the last time. I might put some of those down here. Now I should spend some time just popping these down. I don't want to put too many down because these are very itty bitty anyway, lots of little itty bitty pieces, and for that reason what I've done with these and here, I haven't tacked these small pieces because this phrase, so I don't think it's going to take a lot of sewing. The same with this and those. So I've actually held them in place with some glue stick, just a regular glue stick, and it's holding quite nicely. So I'm not tacking any more pieces down. These were large pieces, so they were okay being tacked, but not these small pieces. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now after I've done that, I've decided that once everything's in place, the eye and the beak and all the embellishments, I'm going to cover it in this very, I'm not sure if it's tulle or what this is called. I've used it before and it's a very, very fine net and it has a sheen to it, but it doesn't change the colour, and then that will make it easier to sew on. So just to recap, next step is to put the embellishments down, to finish the face, and the face is an eye and a beak, and I think that's all I need to do before I put that rather nice net down. Oh, I've got these as well. There's the other half. These were padded, well they still are, and they were sewn together, machine sewn. And I found those after bin day, I thought I can't leave those in the road, so I brought them home. It's nice to have two. I might actually cut one. It's now ready for sewing. I've placed the net over the top to hold everything in place. Put the flowers here, which I've split in two. I didn't split the heart in two, and I've added a few hearts. Well, how many? Just two actually. 2 hearts, and that centre bit there, and that is actually covering up the join, the messy join. The eye's gone in there. I need to dot that. I put a pupil there, and I need to put the beak there, but I'm going to do those on top. So the next thing to do is start the sewing. Now I need to hang this for a while before I decide what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, if I'm going to go around the shape, the whole shape, if I'm going to do it in rows of running stitch, if I'm going to use chain stitch. There's a lot of things to think about now, but I do think I need to clearly define this shape as that of a rooster, because if I don't, it's going to get lost in the background, I think. So as I said, I'm about to hang it for quite a while, and then I might make a start, but as soon as I do, I'll get back and show you how far I've got. Well, I did leave it for a couple of hours, and I walked past it several times and thought, it really does need a bold outline here, but not black, because the black would just get lost. So I chose red or a deep pink, and I thought that deep pink would complement the paler pink at the bottom. As you can see, there has been quite a few changes up here as well. Now, all the little leaves that were here, or still here, I've gone round with chain stitch in 6 strands of thread, so it's quite textured, it's quite raised. It actually looks very, very nice, if I say so myself. I've done the feathers, because these are now taking on the look of feathers. They're losing that leaf look. The same here. I've gone round that as well, exactly the same, and around here. Now I'm not sure about this one here. It crosses over the black line. It's quite big. I'm not sure, but it does contrast against these. But I really just went round the leaf, so that leaf was bigger than the rest. But I shall leave it there for the time being. The eye round here is very, very big, so it isn't finished yet. It will need something on there, maybe a button, maybe a stitch, maybe let's have a look, something like that. I'm not sure about that. Oh, I don't know actually. Let's try a different colour. A sequin, one single sequin. Or maybe something a little bit darker, but anyway, you get the idea. Oh gosh, I just want to carry on doing this now. Yeah, so you get the idea, and the beak needs to be a bit more defined than that, and it needs to be coloured as well, coloured in some way. Now my next thing to do, my next little task, is to carry on with this. This has been such a lovely thing to do. I'm going to now start with filling this in here. I'm not sure whether to do this in running stitch or feather stitch. I think I'm going to do that in feather stitch. Alright, so we've got the chain stitch there, and we'll have feather stitch round here, and then once the feather stitch is in place, I'll be able to see if these need something. I think if I dot these with anything, French knots, beads, or little sequins, these are actually going to look like peacock feathers, because when I look at it, if I couldn't see that bit there, if I could just see the blue and this, I'd be inclined to think that was a peacock. It's only this bit that makes it into a rooster, and I'm not overly in love with these round shapes, though I think once I get here I might have to disguise these a little bit. But for the moment I'm going to do the feather stitch around here. So where's my needle? I'm going to start, I think I'll start, oh, so much choice. I'm going to start here, and I'm choosing a nice rich brown that is a warm brown, but it's quite bright. We've done this so many times before, but what I will do, I'll put a little reminder, probably, where are we? Probably in one of these corners here. Oh, this is really difficult. I can't do it, but in one of these corners around the edge, I might put a little film just to nudge you or remind you, and then you can undo it. Then you can stop it and stop the video and just have a look to see how it's done. Okay, but I'm going to carry. So that's all done now. It isn't finished because I can see by looking on the screen I need something else here. I don't really want to put beads on there, but I might bring this colour, this yellow, over here and do some very small, or not so small, or fine running stitches through there. So I think I might do that after I've done the next task. That'll give me time to think about it, whether I want to bring that colour over there, because what I'm doing next, I'm bringing that red over here, and I'm going to do several rows here of running stitch. We've all done running stitch, so I'm not going to do a demonstration. All I'm going to do is small running stitches all the way. They don't have to be the same size, but all the way through on this blue bit, and that is quite tough. I might have to change the needle. So that's the start, and I should carry on until the blues worked, and then I should go back to these, the feathers, and put some yellow, especially here. There's some yellow here poking out. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some yellow here poking out through the green and the brown, but this needs something else. At the moment it's boring. It's quite boring, apart from the texture, which is really nice. Just need to inject something else to give it a little bit of a zoom, a pop, if you like. I don't think I'm going to dot the leaves inside the leaves here, which are now feathers. I'm still not 100% sure, but at this very moment I'm not going to do that, but that doesn't mean I won't do it, as you know. What did I do? Right, I've got a very fine, I think it's 2 strands of yellow thread running through here. You have to look very carefully to see it, but it is definitely there. Let me hold that up. Yes, I think you can just about see that if the camera refocuses. You can see it particularly well round there and down here. What else did I do? I did some running stitch around here to try and change that shape slightly. I think it has changed a little bit, but I haven't finished with this yet. I put a button there and some running stitch around the eye. The beak doesn't look too big on the screen. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. When I'm looking at it, face down, sort of 12 inches away from it or so, it looks okay, but on the screen I can see that it's just minuscule and absolutely lost. I've done some slow stitching or running stitch here and here and down here, followed that line here, there, and some yellow running stitch along there. Now I'm not sure if I've done anything else. That was a really nice task to do. Now the next thing to do, I can see looking on the screen that I need to finish that. I need to do something there. Close that up. It's actually over the line and it has been sewn down. It's over the line, but I don't like that bit. It looks as if that's missing there. Just see that? Yeah, that definitely needs to be finished off. Now I'm going to concentrate now on the background, and I've sorted out a few things that I think I could use. I'm not sure if I showed that to you before. In keeping with Britto, with the circles and the shapes he loves on the background, I thought I might be able to use this somewhere, maybe tucked away on one of these, around one of these lines, maybe over here. Now I only want this 10 inches long, so I'll only be going as far as what? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'll only be going as far as there. Just as far as there, and then that will be folded over. So I could still fit it in there. So I have that to play around with. I've also found a couple of hearts as well. I think I might have mentioned these earlier that we used from the last project. Well, I've only got one here at the moment, but there are several. Thought I might use this somewhere. Somewhere like this on the background. I've already got a heart there. These hearts here, if you can see it, are so small. I think they might be too small, so if needs be necessary I will cover them up. There's one there and there's one there off the screen here, but they're so dinky I'm not sure they actually add anything, so I could very well indeed cover those up. I've also got another one of these which I did find. I might cut this and do what I did here, half and half, half over the line, half under the line. Not there, obviously, it's too close to that, but up here. And that, as I said, I will concentrate on the background now. And I might actually, before I put any of these embellishments down, oh, that's underneath the net, I might do some slow stitch or running stitch, whatever you want to call it. You might be doing this mindfully, so it's slow stitch. If not, it's just running stitch. So I might start filling in a little bit some of these shapes before I put embellishments on them. I'm thinking at the moment of just using the background colours, just using the pink, red, blue and yellow, and doing just a few areas of running stitch. Colour, like colour on like colour, so yellow on yellow, pink on pink, and the rest of it. And then the embellishments will need to be outlined in black. But I'm getting ahead of myself for the moment, so I think, right, I'm going to try and sequence this. So I think my next, very next task to do is choosing a couple of shapes to do some running stitching. I don't at this stage want to fill them all in. We need some areas of calm because this is very busy, very busy, very fussy, and it isn't finished yet. So by the time the embellishments are on, it's going to be even fussier and even more busy. You think you're at Victoria Station waiting for a train. We don't really want the station effect, the London station effect. No, that's not a good look. So I will keep some of these free, but I'll leave it for a while. I need to sit and just, I might even need to put it away for a while and then get back to it. So a very quick update. I haven't finished it yet, but it's almost finished. So what have I done? I continued with the running stitch. I've only got a few places left to finish, and that is round here and round there. I also added the first set of embellishments. As you can see here, I think that was there before, here and here and there, and I've split some of them up like Britto does on his work, cut them in half, so I've got half either side of the dark line, like there and there. I've added flowers and hearts. He loves using hearts and flowers, and I've done the same. I've also added circles here, which is also a feature of some of his pieces of work. So the next thing I need to do is add a second set of embellishments, mostly here. It's looking a bit jaded and a little bit tired now, and I think I might have to add some beads here or something just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm not sure what yet. I'm hoping as I finish off around this area I'll get a little bit of divine inspiration or something like that. So that isn't finished. Also the beak, still haven't finished the beak, although I have found a nice sequin. It's actually a leaf that might go there. I'm not too sure yet. Oh, what else? Ah, yeah, these need to be outlined in black thread. So these aren't finished. The running stitch is finished on them, but they all need a dark black outline. What else? Oh, and the rooster comb. I'm still not happy with that. I mean, it's looking more like a rooster now, but I'm still not satisfied with this. There's a button there, but to me it looks very cubist, like a cubist piece where the face, the head is in profile, but the face is facing out. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to leave it. That I can see on the screen. I need to do something here, but anyway, as I said, that is basically finished. What I will do, I think I might mount this in a picture frame. I've started to do that recently, put my finished pieces in frames, because as I explained at the time, it's easier to store them, and if I do intend to make something from them, I can just take them out of the frame. Here it is, totally finished and framed. I've made quite a lot of changes to it since you saw it last. I'll just run through what I have done. The first thing I did was to put a beak here. As you can see there, that is actually a leaf there. It's a sequin. It's a leaf that's been secured either end. I've outlined the whole bird in black. I didn't intend doing that, but I think it gives the bird a better definition. Before I did that, the bird seemed to just fade into the background with the rest of the shapes, but the black outline has given it a lift. I've done exactly the same to the hearts and the flowers here and here, as you can see. Now the feet I've deliberately left plain. I don't want to fill those in, because I think it would then be too busy down here and the feet might get lost into the back design. I've added some cross stitch along there, not very much but just a little bit. And what else have I done? The centre flower, I've added, if you can, I'm trying to make this bigger without actually losing the picture. Right, there we go. So around here, I've just put 3 or 4 buttonhole stitches, sorry, not buttonhole, blanket stitches in each of the little holes that were there between what I'll call the petals, and I've done a little pinwheel in the center. Now I've also used blanket stitch along the outline here. Now all these outlines here, let's say on the ephemera but not on the rooster, have been secured with blanket stitch and then it's been woven in. Okay, and we've done this before. The dark thread here is black wool, and the black wool has been woven under the legs of the blanket stitch. What else have I done? Here the black line, the outline here, is just running stitch in wool and then whipped. So that means just going in and out of all those running stitches. And I think that's probably all I've done. Of course I finished off here the stitching there. But that is all. Now I'm going to make this smaller, and I will probably put a photograph of this hanging on the wall. I think you can actually see it better then. I don't like, as you probably picked up over time, I like my designs to actually fill the whole frame. I don't like too much background. So I'm pleased with how this looks. However, I think if I was to do it again, I might make the rooster smaller. Just a fraction smaller. I've lost some of the feathers here. I could have I've lost a little bit here as well from the heart here and the flower. We went from initial inspiration, which was that at Betsy Coed in Wales. Let's have a look side by side. Yeah, they're not a million miles away, are they? Yeah, they're not a million miles. So we went from there to, what did I do from there? There to there, to the lines and that. Or I might actually have done the colouring first, I'm not quite sure. So there we are. And the other inspiration was, as I mentioned earlier, a Britto. So I hope you like that, and I hope you give it a go. It didn't take very long, and there's so much running stitch here, or if you're doing it mindfully slow stitch, that it's just really nice to do. Even this bit was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I really hope you enjoyed that, and please give it a go. I know definitely that a couple of you will. I won't name you because of maybe embarrassing you, but you know who you are. So I will speak to you again on Facebook. Please don't forget to put your work on Facebook. There is some fabulous work going up there. And I just look at it and I'm in total awe, and I would be proud of any of those work. And sometimes I look and think, oh my goodness, far, far nicer than my work. But I'm going to let you go now. The next project might be quick and small because the big move has come around now. It's actually here in a couple of days' time. I really want the move and my YouTube channel, the videos, to be seamless, but I'm not sure if it will work out that way. So a couple might be very short, might be more or less token videos. But anyway, there you go. So Please take care, look after yourself, and as the song says, things can only get better. Okay, I'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye.